Welcome, everybody. This is the Cass Huff Psychic Medium Show, recording in Tacoma, Washington. For appointments, call 253-503-6816 and visit casshuff.com. Information is from Spirit and is from a spiritual medium and is for entertainment purposes only. This and all recording information I provide are copyright protected by law and the property of Cass Huff. That's me. Welcome. Today is June 11th, 2019. I hope you are all doing well. Thank you so much for listening to the show. Today we're going to talk about some very simple but very big topics. Very simply, the topic is it real or is it imagined? Is it real or is it imagined? Think about the last time you thought you saw something out of the corner of your eye and weren't sure if it were really there. And you couldn't kind of glimpse it again. It just happened once. And sometimes we have these little glimpses, sparkles of, it floating around in the air. Some people catch orbs, on the camera. I did a whole podcast on orbs. And sometimes we see a dime on the ground and we're wondering, was that there before or did it happen, just for me? Was it put there just for me? So I want to talk a little bit about our imagination today and our ability to invoke an idea, a picture, into the universe and have it become part of our universe. But the difference between the imagination, when we send out the imagined idea, the proposed idea to the universe, the difference between that is that there's a delay. It takes time for the universe, usually, to hear that response and bring it to you. It can happen instantly. That's what we call a miracle. Usually there's a delay. And so in the imagination state of mind, we are imagining life the way we want it. We are sending a picture out to the universe that is very different from grasping some little speck of information out there and bringing it into concept through words, drawing it out, seeing what you see and perceiving it into the reality realm, bringing the supernatural into your world. So when we get these little glimpses, when we have these little moments of insight that come to us, when you see a little, something come to you and it just kind of comes into your mind and releases and you weren't trying to think about anything at all, that is usually information from the spirit world. Now, many times I have a lot of clients that call who are very psychic. In fact, I do this show for a lot of you who are listening, who call because you're going through your own awakening. And, my own process wasn't, I don't know, I have the gift of talking about what happened to me. And so I believe we're all here to help each other. And so when people ask me, why is this happening to me? And I just happen to have some experience. I want to share that. Maybe it'll make you feel more comfortable. So let's talk about the difference between is it real or is it imagined? Okay? The proposed idea into the universe versus the grasp of a little piece of supernatural information, however you grasped it through your ESP, through your extrasensory sight or touch or smell, and you brought it into the universe through whatever avenue you could. Maybe you were writing, maybe you're a fabulous writer, or you're an artist, or you're just doodling, but you're getting, insight. You're bringing that information forward into the physical reality for other people who haven't seen what you saw or heard or smelled or perceived into the physical reality for them to look at it and then go, okay, now they get to ask the question, is it real? Is it real? Or did that person imagine it? Was it real? Well, a lot of times people who are grasping information in the spirit world or supernatural are open. They're more sensitive. The other day I had a very interesting experience. I posted something on Facebook that was kind of vulnerable. I shared a piece of my heart to the universe. And when I did that, I felt like I let go just slightly, of something. I just spoke about something on my heart and I had a releasement. I felt nice and there was a lot of wonderful responses. I went to the park. And as I was walking around the lake by my house, I noticed something I had not noticed before. All the children were looking at me. The children, the animals. Normally you walk by, you smile at parents, children. But I had a few hours earlier a moment of vulnerability. And as I was walking, and this little girl says hi to me, and I'm just, I'm walking, doing my walk. And all of a sudden I notice this group of kids and they're staring at me and smiling, and one kid waves at me and I'm like, wow, all the kids are so happy today. And I love kids. I have 4 kids and I have a grandson. So it was all about, how sweet. And as I was walking, and it happened so many times that it wasn't a coincidence. It was just kind of like an experience, a spiritual experience. And what happened to me was I realized I was vulnerable like a child. And then all of a sudden, I became so aware of how important it is that we watch over our children and protect our children. For that moment, I felt the same true vulnerability that I had when I was a child. By letting go, of whatever conceived concept that I let go of when I posted that idea on Facebook. And I let go of something and I became clearer and I became able to, basically children noticed me. It was as if they were noticing me as one of them. And I realized that I go through the levels. We go through the levels, where we have moments of vulnerability. We have moments of humility. We have these moments where we are so grounded and we feel so small. And we're so close to the earth and we feel so small and the world is so big. And the universe and the sky is so much bigger than we can ever imagine. And it's that little vulnerability that opens our heart and allows us to perceive other people's feelings. And it allows us to feel other people's feelings and the energy in the world around you. As I was getting ready for this podcast, I started thinking a lot about energetic plugs. I had a really fun massage when I was in Sedona, Arizona a while back, and a beautiful man said I had a plug and he pulled it out. He was doing energy work on me. I'd heard, I'd never heard anyone say it the way he said it. And when he said it, it was like, let's just pull this plug right here. We're going to drain this energy. We're going to tune that chakra. And it was like he was working on a car. Okay. It was pretty fabulous. And so today I want to talk about your energetic plugs. What's plugging you up? What is it that's holding you back from experiencing more of that safe vulnerability, that safe place to experience nature? And so, when we are in that place, we're not denying our feelings. We're not denying what's happening for us. We're allowing information. We're maybe more skeptical to other energies outside of us. We're feeling our feelings. We're feeling from a place of truth. And if there is disharmony in the universe, it is so much bigger than us. And that's what I saw, that in my mind's eye, that children need to be protected from the disharmony because they're so open and they're a child. And so it's about looking to them for, when we look to our children, is your house clear enough? Is your home clear enough? Is your energy clear enough? Is your life running well enough? The children have it. They like they say, the eyes have it. The children have it. They understand the frequencies of clarity and purity and harmony. And when children are, profoundly encapsulated by negative energy, they become the victims of it, and they start directing it. It comes right through them and out them. They just don't have most kids, some might have the protection built up to not do that. And then we blame the child for the way they behave. So let's talk about, where the energy's at. Let's talk about the plugs in the energy. Let's talk about, how can we get you to the car wash of energy healers that unplug your plugs and, tune you up. There's real results in energy work. It's fantastic and it's amazing. So when people are avoiding their feelings, when they're denying their feelings, and then they say, that they want to understand the spirit world, and they look over at somebody else who's working in the spirit world, or maybe that's the artist who's drawing something beautiful that they saw in the spirit world, and they're skeptical to it. Perfect. We want to be skeptical. But at the same time, are you doing the work she's doing? Are you meditating 30 to 45 minutes a day? Are you doing the work to become open? And if you're not, then, judge not. So a lot of times we can only see and feel and allow what we allow in our own life. We only see and feel and allow what we're willing to let through the veil. And so, the energetic field is a flurry of information. Imagine butterflies everywhere. Each one represents a speck of source. Maybe from the living, a thought form, or information coming into you in the quantum physics realms from a friend or a relative or a colleague, an idea being formed. Or possibly it's information coming in from the physical realm. Maybe someone who's dropping a dime on your doorstep, or someone coming through to tell you, hey, there's going to be a phone call from a friend. Don't leave the house. You want to get this call. That happened to me the other day. And so the information highway in the supernatural realm is a very busy place. And for us to slow down and not be scattered by the information, but able to comprehend through discernment what is actually valid and important, and slowing down long enough to hear the thought form, and as it is revealed where that thought form came from, what part of you is attracting that thought form, and is that thought form organic or original from you? And so then we just bridged into clairaudience. So let's talk about feelings, okay? And let's talk about people who are allowing their feelings and people who aren't. Now, the thing is, if you're gifted, if you were born gifted, you can deny your feelings all you want. At some point, you're going to tap in and get that information. a lot of people are just, they're actually want to turn it off. They don't want to turn it on. It becomes a problem. It's like we're getting psychic input, psychic information. It's too much. I don't want to deal with it. It's over there. I'm going to file it away on the shelf. It's a book I don't want to read yet. It's just too much. There's a lot of conversation around that topic. Maybe it's not the conversation that people talk about in the regular world I live in. Maybe I need more information. So, allowing yourself to feel and know how you feel about the supernatural realm will actually help you to grasp the answer. Is it real or is it imagined? And the answer to all of this, I know you're going to say, oh my gosh, she repeats it so often, is meditation. It is. It's slowing down. It's getting into the state of Zen. 7 minutes minimum. 7 minutes minimum is the key to slowing down. And a long time ago, I held a group. We had 11 meditators they were from all walks of life, and we meditated on world peace, which is amazing to do. And we decided that we would do 7 minutes of meditation on ourselves individually while we were in the circle. And then we did 7 minutes of meditation out into the world, sending peace and energy out into the world. Now, it seemed vital to do the first 7 minutes on the self, because when you are in a harmonized place of frequency of light and love, and you're acknowledging what's going on inside of you, and you don't ignore your feelings, and you cry if you need to cry, and you smile if you need to smile, and you breathe, clearer, and, maybe there's something going on inside you that needs to be reconciled. Reconcile the heart, and be at that place to be available to wish well upon your neighbors and your friends and those you love. And then beyond to the world, to the animals and the trees, and into the water. We are water. We're so much water. Water is life, 70% water. And so important that we send the blessing out into the world in which we live, and imagine that you are blessed already. You are a blessed and beautiful and vibrant individual. And the awareness of that blessing is not allowed by everybody in the universe that you live in. And so walking around on a daily basis with people whose eyes are closed and not experience that life is a blessing can sometimes blur the vision for you, and it might make you feel like life isn't a blessing. So send the blessing out into the universe and let it reach farther than you've ever imagined. And that blessing will also bless you right back like a beautiful boomerang. So today is June 11th, 2019. Today's a 20 in the numerology. I'm just double checking my number here. 9. Yes, today's a 20. So in numerology, today is a day of participation, and it's a day of forming wonderful partnerships. It's a day of conscious vibrating with the partnerships that serve you, and with the discipline and the eager attitude to benefit from everything you've asked for. And we're in this beautiful, June 3rd was the new moon, and we're heading towards June 17th, 25 degrees Sagittarius, which is a full moon. And if I could just, how can I say, the energy of this full moon is the same energy as the song, When You Wish Upon a Star. Okay, I don't know how I did on the air there, but that is the vibration that we are a few days away from. And so the excitement of this, the vulnerability, the childlike joy. There is so much available to you, and it might feel like, how can I choose? I know that's happening for me personally, and I'm a Gemini, so it's going to be a little exaggerated in my life right now because it's my month, but it's an overly abundant, energetic of possibilities. And I pulled up my computer today and I clicked on a book I was writing a long time ago, and I clicked on it and I was so shocked that I opened up this book and it was so relevant today. It was as relevant as the day I wrote the words years ago. And I realized that everything I had written about hadn't happened yet in my life. And as I reread the words, everything I wrote about had already happened. And I said, wow. So I sent out into the universe quite a concept or a message that was heard, reverberated, and it was a channeled message. So it's not just for me, and it will someday come out when it's a fully formed book for people. But I was just, excited at the abundant idea of now being able to write this book or complete this book, I should say. It's mostly written. And the possibilities that are available are kind of so big right now, but they're also fully formed. You could step right into it. You could walk right into the process. You may have 6 or 7 awesome things coming your way this month. And if you're not a Gemini, the challenge for you is in the discernment to choose to move forward into the push, into the, move the obstacles out of the way, get the plugs out of the way, and to receive all of those amazing opportunities coming to you. They're there. There may just be a tiny bit more of a veil for you to see them. Geminis are very psychic by nature. They're communicative. They're intuitive. I don't know if they'd all use the word psychic, but it's just part of the energetic of a Gemini. And so whoever's listening, this is the energy right now of a lot of, it's an information highway, and it's in the physical realm, it's in the spiritual realm, it's in the supernatural realm. And this is time to go back into your closets and make space, clean out, move energy, and get on, with the joy of receiving. This is an abundant, wonderful time. So that's what I had to share with you today. And if you're someone who's struggling, recently I talked to a guy who said, I just don't know if any of this is real. I just don't know. And he's a researcher of the paranormal. And I'm like, well, do you feel it? Guys, it boils down to this simple question. Do you feel it? I'll leave you with that today. I hope you have a wonderful, absolutely fantastic day. We're here to experience the joyful harvest of our souls, experience and desire in the beautiful light, energetic and vibration of freedom and love and peace and sovereignty. And I wish you all well. Take care. This is Cass.